I have come armed with my favorites. Is everybody else ready? I'm half awake and half asleep at the moment. I actually slept pretty decently, but sometimes when I sleep too much, my brain can't work it. But we have my collection ready to go. We just have to decide where to start. Where you want to start?
You decide.
That's not helpful.
Said I was.
Got a whole collection sitting behind me. I'll show you. Ooh. We got these that you can see right here, and then we have another show of my favorites, and then we have a freaking Scooby-Doo thing, which is awesome. Should we start with Scooby-Doo, since that is the big topic that we had that inspired this?
What? I can't think of what's to start in that actually.
Okay.
Little man.
Scooby-Doo. No. He moves his arm like a little bit, but that's it. Aww. I beat it up. Puppy, it's been abused. No. I have this cute little Van Mature. Right here. It popped out.
Oh, I can fix that.
But look. Pull it out. Oh, we got a collection set in here. This is so cool. I love this. This was my mom's Christmas gift to both of us. But that wasn't baby toys or clothes or anything related to baby. So, Scooby-Doo. We were discussing the interesting storylines that they do with the different characters. Like, for example, they have different interests or jobs in each series almost. Almost every single one of them. Most of them, Daphne is usually always.
Just loaded.
Well, yeah, she's always rich, but like, she usually always is into fashion in some way in all of them. And Velma's always into some kind of electronics. But it's not always the same, you know? So like our first thought process topic was how they all have different like backgrounds depending on the series, movies.
Yeah.
How do I explain this?
Both.
Both.
I don't see anything wrong with that.
Yeah, cause so what was it? Which one am I thinking about? There's like different movies have different things, but like I'm thinking about the one that you don't want to watch.
Zombie Island?
No, that you want to watch that. I don't want to watch that. You don't want to watch. It's a series. He made a face. What is it? The one with Crystal Cove? Is it?
I think so.
I don't remember what it's called. Mystery Incorporated. I think it's literally called Mystery Incorporated.
I think you might be right.
I think I'm right. That one, it's so interesting because like Fred's whole storyline is about how he was kidnapped. What's that about? But his father's like the mayor in that one. And then Shaggy's parents are just ridiculously rich. I don't know if they ever talk about their profession in that one. They just have a shit ton of money. Same with Daphne's, I think. I don't know. I haven't watched that one in a long time. And Dakota's not interested in it, so he doesn't watch it.
I'm trying to keep it watch film. Let's be honest.
Velma. Oh, that weird show that everyone hated.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna watch that.
I will die.
Yeah, I will never watch that. But we were talking about how the characters all have like different backgrounds and different things. Like Velma's family, for example, they were descendants of a, I don't want to say tyrant, but a madman, I guess.
That word, honestly, at the moment.
The one where she goes nuts
Uh-huh.
and creates a monster. Yeah. But, like, apparently they're very super rich, but she never mentions it until that movie. And then there's a series set, I think, where like Shaggy's parents are like one's the head of the police force there or something like
Only
that.
one I remember Shaggy's dad being in the police is Scooby Doo.
Yeah, that's what I've been
Okay.
talking about.
Just make sure.
Yeah. It's like they're all different. It's all different and strange. But like but in my brain, they almost always discuss that Shaggy and Daphne are rich. Like super rich kids that pretty much do what they want. Which makes sense. For Daphne's interest of fashion. She always has designer clothes and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Can't get that shit unless you're got money. Or some kind of magical and can get a hold of that money. You know? And then Shaggy eats a lot. Like, he's gotta pay for that food somehow. So that's definitely rich kid mentality. And then Fred's sometimes rich and sometimes not. Because he actually discussed about being like an auto mechanic at one point. I think it's just so strange. The stories don't always add up, and as much as I love Scooby Doo, it does kind of bother me. Like, I'm not the only one, right? And there's like what, 3 different stories of the origin of Scooby Doo? Well, just Scooby Doo in general. Just how they became friends, like him and Shaggy. And then the whole group, their friendship, there's like 3 different stories for that.
Oh, there's
Yeah. Scooby Doo. Scooby Dooby Doo. Yeah.
Scooby Doo. Sorry. Dinner's just.
No, that's fair. We're discussing how the different stories don't always line up. How like Daphne is almost always rich. I think it's always discussed that she's rich and into fashion. And then Shaggy has to be rich. In multiple different ones he's rich, but like he has to be rich because he eats so much food. And then Fred's rich in a few of them and not in a few of them. And there's like one where Velma is definitely rich, but she never discusses it. And we're just discussing how weird it is, the different story connections. And then then there's obviously Scooby Doo, where his origin to the friendship is different in almost all of them. I think even like the one Falcon.
Yeah. Falcon.
That one's completely different than the rest of them. Completely cute and sad, but like still. I totally forget the entire storyline of Scooby. There's not really a storyline though. That's what I mean. Like, I just mean like how he becomes friends with Shaggy. It almost in every single there's at least 3 different ways.
Oh, more than that.
There's more than that.
I think so.
Where they discuss like, you know, they go back in time and how they became friends. Like the whole group, and then on top of that, how Scooby and Shaggy became friends first. But like there's one storyline, I think in A Pup Named Scooby Doo, they discuss how they were all friends from childhood. And then, like, in two different ones, they only became friends in high school because of convenience or something like that. In two of the different live action ones, that's how it went. I don't understand. It's all different.
A lot of how they met is like ambiguous, honestly.
Yeah. And then at one point, Shaggy adopted Scooby through an actual, like, animal adoption agency. And then there's another one where he was just a stray dog that Shaggy found and claimed him, pretty much.
Yeah.
It's just different. It's so weird. I have my Armed movies. Have you come with your Armed TV shows?
They are both armed to the teeth. It's gonna be fun.
Eyeballs. So I have Scooby Doo. And then we got all of these. These are movies / shows. Actually, most of these are shows. But I have like an arsenal of different movies. I was just trying to go with like a generic what people would be interested in because like I love Bratz movies, Monster High, and Barbie. Not everyone loves those. I did convince Dakota to watch a few of them with me though. That was fun. No, I love it. But How to Train Your Dragon, the best thing of all time. Cannot pass it up. Will refuse to watch the new one till the end of time. Oh my god, I saw a new thing on How to Train Your Dragon.
I saw those two recently.
No, I mean like someone saying, why didn't they cast this person instead of this person? Which I totally agree with.
Wouldn't make more sense.
Yeah, I know it. Okay, so the actor they were talking about is McKenna Grace. She plays Sheldon's rival in Young Sheldon. Do you know that one?
I don't know.
Oh, I'm trying to think of something you would know her in. Ghostbusters? The most recent ones?
I haven't watched them yet.
Damn it. Okay.
I'm old school.
I was gonna say maybe not. You might not know McKenna. But McKenna Grace. We Google so I can show Dakota. If you would like to see, I can also Google and show you. Let me move my movie. They were like, why didn't they cast her as Astrid? Because not only does she look like Astrid, but ironically, she's currently dating the actor that plays Hiccup.
That would make too much fucking sense.
Okay, McKenna Grace. We look at her filmography, if I can find it.
That was the cutest sound.
That was the cutest sound ever. But I saw this one this morning. Oh, she sings the songs that I listen to. A lot of the songs I listen to. I should have gone with that. He knows the songs. I've played them a million times. He may not know them perfectly, but he does know them.
Name one.
What?
Name one.
Oh no, I'll show you. They're in my on repeat playlist. I gotta scroll through a whole like 3 albums of things. Okay, there's these ones. She acted in Captain Marvel. That could be a thing.
Didn't watch that one either.
She was young Marvel.
What? Did the lion look at you funny?
No, he's looking at the lion. What is he looking
Hi.
at?
Wow. I wasn't expecting that reaction from my face.
But yeah, this one. Do My Friends Hate Me? I know you know that one. I sing that one a lot. Hold on.
I'm gonna be disappointing her this entire time right now.
That probably is picking up on my mic, sorry.
Oh, okay.
He remembers it, we're good.
Carrying on.
I was gonna look at the movies, though, that she's done. Yeah!
Probably not gonna know her from any movie, full honesty.
No, but I was gonna like just show you kind of her face. But this one's black and white, so it's not very helpful. Here we go. There we go.
Yeah, nothing. I don't recognize her at all.
Okay, I didn't think you were going to recognize.
But that's who it is?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm grabbing the baby. Hold on.
Gotta grab the fussy butt. He's gotta join the party.
Whee! Hi. Look at his cute outfit. He's got the girl on. His poor bald spot. But yeah, so they were like, why didn't they cast her as Astrid? Because she not only looks like Astrid, but she's dating the actor, which dating the actor didn't happen until like after production.
Yeah.
So that's one thing. Here, you want this? You and your poor teethies. But they were like, she could have been an actor in the live action. She's also closer in age. I don't like to the one that's currently acting. I think she's also around the age, but like I understand where they're coming from. She would have been a good one.
Yeah, she would have fit.
Yeah. But what I was gonna go on is, so we've watched all of them. So we've watched the movies, we've watched the TV shows in it. Yeah, movies and TV shows in it. The shorts, we have the shorts for them as well. The like just 30-minute like movie kind of ish thingies. But we've watched all of them, and we keep going to this same discussion where Stormfly is the only dragon that gets dragon.
Wow, you didn't like that. What's your opinion, Bubba?
He's like the only dragon that she's like the only dragon that gets dragon nabbed. Every single time a dragon gets dragon nabbed, she's the only one that gets dragon nabbed. And they were discussing why it's the one that she gets dragon nabbed all the time. Because she's described as supposed to be loyal. A very loyal dragon, which she is. But she's very...
As long as you're not holding a piece of chicken.
Yeah, it's kind of like if you're a child, like a toddler, and you meet someone new and you're like instant best friends with them sometimes. That's what it is. That's what Stormfly is like. And I think it's hilarious. Because on top of her being described as loyal, she's also, like, she's literally like a little baby, like a puppy. Like in the second movie.
Yeah, no, I can see it.
The second movie, she literally plays fetch. We were discussing how funny that was, because we were like, what other dragons would be dragon napped? And then we're sitting and going through them all, and we're like, we don't know. Because, like, Meatloaf is so attached to fish legs that she would definitely not get kidnapped.
No.
She wouldn't leave fish legs. The only people she trusts is the people she knows to trust. You know? And then like the twins, the Barf and Belch, I don't think they could get kidnapped.
No.
I feel like if they tried to get kidnapped, people would just give up. You know?
The only way they would get kidnapped if you treated them like a king in the one episode.
Yeah. But they were already there.
Yeah.
But like I feel like people would get too annoyed with trying to like keep saying dragon nap. Are we talking about dragons? Yeah. From How to Train Your Dragon. I missed. We're talking about How to Train Your Dragon. We're talking about the dragons and how in the show, like the two of the shows, Stormflight is almost constantly being dragon napped. And we were discussing how the other dragons aren't. We were like, why aren't the other dragons being dragon napped? And then we were like, going through and discussing them. Meatlug is too loyal to fish legs. They're like attached at the hip. That they definitely would not get kidnapped, dragon napped. Sorry. And then the Zibbleback, the twins' Zibbleback, Barf and Belch, they definitely couldn't. They could.
They try.
They could try, but they're so mischievous that I feel like they would just get annoyed trying to dragon nap that dragon. You know? What else? Toothless, you gotta learn how to fucking drive him, honestly. If you don't know how to use the little foot thingy to make him move, it's not going anywhere even if he did want to go with you. But he's very cautious dragon. He's a curious but cautious dragon, you know?
Toothless is picky.
Yeah. But you'd have to be able to figure out how to work the tail to be able to take Toothless in the first place. So he definitely wouldn't be
getting far.
An automatic go-to. Cause do you ever notice how the whole group knows how to fly Toothless?
Yes, I did.
I'm sure they did that as a precautionary situation, just in case. But I do find it very interesting that the whole group knows how to fly Toothless. And they did a whole thing where they were trying to teach his dad how to fly Toothless.
So,
is there a difference between dragons and dragons defenders of Berk? No. Are you meaning like the shows? Or the dragons in there? Because they all go together. It's all connected. So the first movie is Dragons, or How to Train Your Dragon. The second movie is How to Train Your Dragon 2, and then the third one is How to Train Your Dragon Hidden World. I just remembered the name. Yeah, so it's all a part of the whole collection. If Dakota would like to go grab them, we could show you.
I can go grab.
We own all of the DVDs, but there's shorts that are like mostly holiday themed. They're holiday shorts in there, and then Defenders of Berk and Riders of Berk. That's the Cartoon Network series that was created after the first movie and before the second movie. And then Race to the Edge. That one's another series. That one's on Netflix. That was created after the second movie. Tough Nut is one of the twins. But yeah, Race to the Edge was created after the second movie, and it kind of just led up to the events the few years in between the first and the second movie was what they created it. But Tough Nut is one of the twins. Tough Nut and Rough Nut. Dakota comes bearing gifts. What are you gonna say?
Every single one.
I own them all.
Ridiculous. Alright, which one do you want?
Oh, we're discussing. They just remembered the Defenders of Berk, so we were discussing Riders and Defenders of Berk. It's literally the same series. They just decided for the second season that they wanted to change the name.
Mm-hmm.
So it's literally a first and second season, but the names are different. I have the baby on me, or I would like grab them and show you stuff. But yeah, so we have the short film collection, which is mostly like there's 2 Christmas specials, and then Bone Napper special, which is going over one of the dragons that isn't really discussed. And then Race 1, where they're discussing how dragon racing came to be.
Just got
Did you click it?
Yes.
Think. Yeah, so we have those, and then the one that you're talking about is the second season of uh Riders of Berk. So Riders and Defenders of Berk are the same show, but for some reason they made the first season Riders of Berk, and then they decided to change it to Defenders of Berk in the second season. But they're doing the same damn shit in both series and both names, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, it makes absolutely no sense to me.
Yeah. You can kind of see how it changes, where they go from being riders and learning with their dragons, and then the second season it's a little more of trying to protect their home, but it's still the same thing. And then I was discussing Race to the Edge, which, besides the first movie, is my favorite. Personally, what do you think? Is that your favorite?
I can agree with that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a how many seasons? 6 seasons show on Netflix, and we have the DVDs for it. But it's after the events of Defenders of Berk, so it's placed what, like 2 years after
I believe so.
the first movie? I think it's placed around 2 years after the first movie, and then it leads up until right before the second movie takes place. I remember Riders of Berk because I thought they were all Turkish because Berk is kind of Turkish name. So that's why it stuck in my mind. I mean, that's fair. This is one of my favorite collections ever. I think I've watched it over 1,000,000 times. I can quote the first movie word by word, which Dakota laughs at me about, but I can totally do it. I can also do that with the second movie, actually. The third movie, I'm still kind of iffy on, because the third movie wasn't my favorite. It was good, though. It was very good. And I can quote a good bit of the Netflix series as well. But it is literally my favorite collection set of things. Mine is Scooby-Doo, probably.
That's fair. That works.
Yeah. Now we have the whole collection sitting behind me, and I can't even grab it to show you and stuff.
He decided it was time to eat, huh?
Yeah. That and he has a hold of my hand. I'm holding him with one arm, and I'm holding the bottle, but he also has a hold of my fingers underneath the bottle. So I can't move. Which, could you give me my pop? Because I definitely burped, and it did not taste good. Ah.
Yeah, I ain't doing that.
He.
Last thing we need is him getting covered in soda.
That's valid. I mean, you could take him, but I figured you were playing a game and I'm not, so.
And we still managed to need your hands somehow.
Right? What is that concept?
I don't know. Kind of impressed.
But yeah, definitely favorite. I have the book collection that the movie was based off of. They just kind of went with it, though. They made the first movie based off of the book collection, and then they just kind of flung with it. It was so amazing, they kept going. But the second movie was created years after the first one, to my memory. But they did the TV show for the Cartoon Network TV show after the first movie.
Mm-hmm.
And then they had a little bit of shorts in there as well that they released on like Christmas and shit. Or around Christmas time. Regular Show and Gumball was my favorites in Cartoon Network. Those days. Dakota just made a face as if he agrees. I did not watch either. Regular Show was one that was on the list of shows that I wasn't allowed to watch growing up. Gumball I could watch, but I personally wasn't my favorite thing, so I don't know much about it. I only watched a few episodes here and there. I never actually got into it. So I don't know much about them. But I also, for context on stuff I wasn't allowed to watch growing up, Regular Show was on that. I also couldn't watch SpongeBob. I was not allowed to watch SpongeBob unless I was at my dad's. And that was because my dad didn't understand why my mom wouldn't let me watch SpongeBob. I don't know. I don't know why.
I'm not even gonna attempt to understand at this point in time either.
I could ask her, but I still don't really understand when she tells me. She's like, because it was so stupid. It was so stupid you couldn't watch it. Of course you couldn't watch it. It was so stupid. I was like, that's her only
your mom's
defense.
opinion of
It
everything.
was so stupid. That was her only defense. Like, Family Guy made sense. Me not allowed to watch Family Guy made sense. So, for context, when I was a kid, up until I was like 16, the shows that I was allowed to watch that weren't like shows that my mom personally watches, was everything on Boomerang. If you know what that is. I was only allowed to watch things on Boomerang. That was it. Disney and Boomerang. Nickelodeon was a little more iffy. She had to approve the shows. I'm gonna just angle myself a little bit. So. He's fighting sleep a little bit right now. Hi. Are you slobbering on mommy's chest? Yeah. Big yawn. Yeah, you're sleepy. You know that? Can I have assistance?
What you
He slobbered all over my chest.
Yeah, come here. Where at?
Like inside my shirt.
Y'all see nothing.
No, they can't see anything, but
I know, but I figured disclaimer.
get his face. Mr. Slobbery Butt.
Mr. Julie Pants. There you go. Don't you side-eye me, young man.
Teething baby. The joys of teething baby. But yeah, there was a lot of things I was not allowed to watch growing up. Damn, Disney Channel. All of my girl cousins were watching it all day. Yeah. I enjoyed it though. A lot of Disney Channel I enjoyed. You sit. Do you see mommy? Do you see mommy on the screen? Yeah. I was only allowed to watch Disney and Boomerang. Which is hilarious, because you know what show I was allowed to watch at like 6 years old? It's behind me right now. It's down there.
Oh.
Take a guess. Out of the... You want to pick them up and show them?
No.
Let them see if they can figure it out. Either that or take the baby. Your decision.
I'm
Charmed? Yeah.
Oh, I was right.
You didn't have to pick up the...
I figured I'd pick up the whole stack.
Yeah, so...
I guessed it, so there's
No point now, because now it's on record.
Want to take this off? Yes. Yeah, I was allowed to watch this as a kid.
The standards are all sorts of fucked up.
I was watching this pretty solidly. That, and I was allowed to watch Supernatural. I just didn't like it. It freaked me out. So Charmed was one that I had on my collection. That I watched a good bit actually growing up. You're slobbering on mommy's hands.
Of course he is. He's a slobbery baby.
Some favorite young kiddos were showing up during the scenes, and the clap sound was starting to play. I don't even know what was that. What the clapping soundtrack thingy? It's actually called like an actual thing. They had it on like almost all sitcoms.
What, the laugh track?
The laugh track and then the clapping one.
I don't remember what they called that.
I don't know what they called it. I know that face. Are you trying to poop?
Don't you dare. Call grandma.
I even saw Selena Gomez. That's funny. That was peak Disney, in my opinion. Disney time where Selena Gomez was on it. I loved that show, Wizards of Waverly Place. I loved it. I have the like movie where there was like a good one and a bad one of Selena. In the movie? I don't know. I know it's somewhere in the other room. It's when they went on vacation or something. No, actually, I have the vacation one they went on, and then when they went to Italy, I think it was. But I have the one where she technically became the family wizard, and then reversed it all and lost to being a family wizard. And then she became the family wizard again. Or later down the line, the actual end of the show, where her brother technically was the family wizard, but they had actually recorded the situation and decided that he wasn't good enough to be the family wizard. Do you ever notice that?
Watched it.
You never watched it? Alright. Dakota wasn't a Disney kid.
I am not a Disney kid.
I just realized Cameron Boyce passed away. Damn, I didn't even know that. Oh my god, really? That's so sad. Cameron Boyce, he played... Yeah, oh, you're not gonna know. Oh, have you watched Grown Ups? Damn it. He played in quite a bit of Disney shows. There's that show Jessie that I said I've been wanting to watch. He's in that one. But he passed away right after they finished filming the... Or not right after. They finished filming Descendants 3. And he passed away after he filmed a different movie after that. Yeah, he had epilepsy. He died of seizure in his sleep, I think, is what they ruled it. His parents have opened a foundation in his name for seizure or epilepsy research and stuff like that. And he was very against gun violence and stuff, so he also has that kind of foundation in his name. He passed away almost 6 years ago. Yeah. Yeah, it's been years. I remember I think I was still in high school when I saw it, and my friend called me. I kid you not, I saw it online. Someone had posted about it, and then my friend called me not even 5 minutes later and goes, "Oh my god, did you see this?" Yeah. That was heartbreaking for a lot of girls growing when I was younger, when he passed away, because he was our childhood pretty much. He was on Jessie, and then he did yeah, he's trying to poop. Yeah, he was on Jessie, and then he did guest stars on Bunked. He had his own show named Gamer's Guide, which was on Disney XD, I think. He was probably all high school girls' first love. Yeah, I think he was. He probably was. I know my friend was devastated. She made the comment. She's like, I think that was my first actual crush growing up, was him. Big yawn. Today I did some farties that felt like bubbles.
Mm-hmm. Didn't I do the last one?
I just wanted you to check and see if you
I know.
did use
No, I
the
can't.
diaper.
Ain't hard to do from way over there.
Yeah, because this kid, he'll fart so gnarly, you think he shat his pants. And half the time, he's just farting. But yeah, he was definitely a lot of girls' first loves, first crush, whatever you want to call it. I thought he was cute, but I also thought it was weird to fall in love with a movie character or an actor that played a movie character, you know? Just me. Was I the only person that was like that?
Nope, you just smell.
Just male?
Just smells.
You want me to take a peek?
As long as he promises to be cool, he can stay.
The fact he was like, okay, I'll shut up. Where's this? Because he didn't fully finish eating. I just pulled it out so I could burp him. Sophia Carson also acted in Descendants, and I really had no idea. I watched Sophia Carson's Purple Hearts. You watch Purple Hearts? Oh my god, I want Dakota to watch that, and he won't watch it. I watched it like 3 times the other day. Yeah, Sophia Carson. Have you watched her most recent movie? Oh, that one's good. I like her most recent one. It's The List, I think it's called. It's on Netflix. I have Netflix on my computer. I can look. I don't want to be rude, but it was fucking ugly. What Purple Hearts was? Twitch will ban me soon. I'll amend you on your on my behalf, you know? I'll try to save you if they ban you. Yeah. You didn't like Purple Heart? Did you not like it? Cuz I thought it was good. Oh my god. My audio's on. Turn that off.
Oops. Well, there goes that.
I thought Purple Hearts was good. But it was also like weirdly good in my opinion, because so this is Purple Hearts, love. It's pretty much literally a big finger to the government, but it's a romance story.
Mhm. That's what
Where
lose me every time.
well, duh, that's why I haven't tried to force you to watch it. I'll just watch it one day and he might tune in. She used him for his insurance. That's what I mean. I get it, but it turned into a cute romance. It was a marriage of convenience, of necessity. I'm gonna go with convenience. So she was diagnosed with diabetes in her probably early 20s. Best guess. They don't really discuss age, and she was really bad at controlling it and didn't have enough money to pay for her insulin and shit because, you know, American healthcare system sucks ass. And this guy, the dude, the other romance dude mature, he needed extra money to pay off debts that he had. And when I say debts, I mean drug debts. So he had a druggie threatening him all the time.
My level of surprise.
Mm-hmm. He went into the Marines. Right? Yeah, I think it's Marines. As a way of straightening himself out, pretty much. Which he did go to rehab. He straightened himself out. He was no longer on drugs. I don't even know if he took pain medication after he got his legs blown up. But they got married so she could survive because she'd be dead in like, the way she was going, she'd be dead in like 2 years. Off of her diabetes with how bad it was. Because she's not good at taking care of herself.
Hold on, got it.
So they got married so she could get his insurance, which, to be fair, earlier on in the movie it was kind of funny. They had come in as a group, him and his Marine buddies that were going to be shipped out soon. They had come in as a group to a bar where she worked, and one of the guys was trying to convince her to date him / marry him because of his insurance. He had good health insurance. I thought that was funny at the beginning. She was also against the military, and guess what happened? She married with a damn Marine. Yeah. So she's
You're gonna keep squirming. I'm not gonna let you have the bottle.
her
Make a
mom.
mess everywhere.
Her mom was Mexican, right? Is that what it was established? She came to America and worked for 10 years there in America to become a citizen and I think she was born there. The main character was born there, so she was automatically a citizen. Man, he fought in Iraq for her diabetes medicine. Dude was going to Iraq anyway. Latin.
Latina, Mexican.
Well, yeah, they're different locations though. The way they describe it.
Yeah, one is just born.
Yeah.
That's how it was described to me years ago.
But she has like all hate for America and the government system and stuff like that. And then she married a Marine for her health insurance. The thing was, she went to her best friend that she used to babysit, that became best friends later on, went to him to ask him to marry her so she could survive and have his insurance. And he said the only reason he denied it was because he had someone he cared about and loved and that he wanted to marry. This is the only reason he denied it. Which was really sad because the IED that blew up this dude's legs killed that boy. He was 20 years old, I think they said. He died in that explosion, and then there was a whole sad crying scene. I cried my way through most of this movie, just FYI. Where she gave the ring that he had asked her to hold on to the girl that he was going to propose to once he got back from his deployment. I'm going to cry just thinking about it. Is there anyone marry me for its insurance? Hashtag looking for a partner. Hashtag available. Hashtag single. You want to know something funny? So, talking about marriage for insurance. We're married. I'm the one that has insurance right now. As of the rest today. It's gone tomorrow. It'll be gone tomorrow. Today is my last day of leave. And I can't go back to work because my school is requiring team up. And with the schedule of the team up, I'm not going to be able to work. So, I get to stay home and not make money, which I want to stay home with the baby, to be fair, but I need to make money and have insurance for our child. Hello, Luke. Oh yeah, and there's a whole situation with his family. He talks to his brother, but
Yep.
his dad doesn't speak to him. His dad kicked him out because the last thing he did before he got sober was stole a car from his dad's shop that his dad was fixing up and remodeling, kind of thing, trying to make it. I don't want to say make it new. I want to say make it old, because technically he was trying to remodel it to its original. Do you know what I'm saying? It's a
Retro mod.
Say what?
Retro mod.
Okay, he knows what I'm talking about.
Old car, new parts.
Yeah. Trying to make it back to what it was originally.
Here's one of those.
It was doing it for the customer. But it was a shit ton of money. And he asked his drug dealer for said money to pay it back to his dad. His dad said, you have to pay back the customer because you wrecked his car. Because he was on drugs, stole the car. His plan was to sell the car, but he ended up taking it down the highway on drugs and crashed it.
I'm going to put you down. Mr. Wiggly Worm? Mr. Wiggly Worm?
I don't know if he knows what he wants.
He never knows.
I have an insurance that pays 105 euros per month. And that means I have every material for a marriage. What about Luke's dad? He was mad against him. That's what I mean. So that's what happened though, is Luke's dad had this car that he was remodeling for a customer. And Luke crashed the thing. And that was his final straw. Pride and Prejudice is leaving soon. I'm glad I have the DVD. I just looked over to my other screen where I have Netflix pulled up right now, and I just saw in the corner Pride and Prejudice leaving soon. The bitches. How dare. I'm surprised though, because like I guarantee you so many people watch that. When I need like something to just play in the background, I put Pride and Prejudice on. You say you're gonna roll over?
He rolled himself onto his front.
What do you mean?
Exactly that. I don't know how he did it. I turned around and then turned back and he was on his front.
What do you mean?
You think the ghost helped him flip over?
I hope so. He can't flip over on his own yet.
I know. Place is haunted, by the way.
Oh yeah,
Just
we
in
have a
case anyone's
ghost.
Curious.
Alternate ending. They're making a second one, apparently. Of this movie. Bed. Oh wait, you're there. On your fridge.
Thank you, because I remember opening the stream on it.
Yeah. He's doing tummy time that he put himself in. You finished the context for alternate ending. Oh, I finished the context. I don't know. What could an alternate ending be? Not a romance movie? And it ended like, you know, I think the only way that an alternate ending would be is if both of them ended up in jail and never got out. Okay, because the ending of it, by the way, they finally got caught for the fake marriage because Luke decided to beat up his drug dealer and give him the money he owed when he could have just given the money he owed and been done with it, but he beat him up and he turned them in for a fake marriage. Because he told his drug dealer about the fake marriage.
Tell me the drug dealer.
That's a liability.
Dumb motherfucker.
You got him? I was telling you, she probably kicks Luke's ass as it was streamed by 10 million
Dude, you're all red. Calm the hell down.
Spotify. And that was the alternate ending. That would be something. What?
I think he's toasty.
Take him out. Strip the baby.
Actually, he is toasty.
Yeah, strip him. It's a little, that outfit's a little cozy. Strip him for a little bit and let him breathe.
Touch the baby.
Touch the belly. But yeah, he is a little warm. He's not fever warm, but he's a little warm.
He's uncomfortably warm to me.
Yeah.
Hey, give me the chicken wing.
Thing is, he had a fever when he got his 2 months.
You can grab onto the inside of it and smile, you little turd. He full on grabbed the
He
stitching.
probably
and
is happy
smiled.
that you're stripping him right now. He's probably feeling better. But he got a fever of 100 and almost 1 after his 2 months shots. And he was burning. I felt like I was touching a oven on
There you
that
go,
was
bud.
lit up to cook on. So
Go, bud.
now when I feel him to see if he's warm or not, I know what a fever feels like. At least 100-degree fever. I know what that feels like. That's why every time your mom touches his head or something and goes, he's warm, he might have a fever, and I touch him, I'm like, oh no, he's good.
No, he's fine.
Yeah. Because I know. Okay, so the Life List, that's the movie I'm talking about. That's another romance movie, so just preference that. But she's given a list to complete that she, I guess, made as a kid, but she was given a list to complete before a specific time that her mom gave her from the dead. It was in her will. Didn't watch. It just came out recently, so I'm not surprised you didn't watch. The only reason I saw it is because I follow her on my online Instagram. Because I can recommend the Normal People series for romantic. That's fair. But yeah, it's a life list that her mother gives her. It's a list she made as a kid as like her goals and dreams for life. Her mom found it when she was going through her stuff, trying to catalog what would go to who in her will. She made her do the list. Feel free to give spoiler. Oh, well, I just gave you the context. So her mother makes a will. I just hit the movie. I did not mean to do that. I wanted to look at the information. Her mother's dying of cancer. I guess it's the second time she's had cancer. She won the first time, but she didn't think she was going to win the second time. Because I guess the doctor said she had a much lower chance. And so she started getting her will and assets put together. I guess she had her own business. And while she was going through trying to put everything to who goes to what, or what goes to who, sorry, of her 3 kids in the will, she discovered her daughter's teenage wish list, pretty much. The goals she wanted to have before she was like a certain age or something like that. She pretty much threw it away. She became a teacher. Something happened. I don't think they go into detail, but she had to leave her job, or she chose to leave her job because of what happened. So she gave up on her dream of being a teacher, and then was working at her mom's business and stuff. And so her mom, while she was doing all this stuff, decided that she wanted her daughter to get back to what she truly wanted in life. So she used the life list that her daughter had made as a teenager and told her that she had to complete it by New Year's of the same year, because she died early on in the year. So she pretty much had a whole year to try to do this life list. And the firm that she uses with her legal stuff, the firm that she normally used, the lawyer she normally used, decided that she was absolutely bonkers and crazy for this quest that she put her daughter on. So he switched her to a different lawyer in the firm that would be a little more understanding of it. And she ends up falling in love with the lawyer. Kyle Allen. Let me double check who that is. Oh yeah, he's the lawyer. He's the romantic interest. Did you watch the map of Tiny Perfect Things? Don't think so. Map of perfect things. We look. We judge by pictures. I recognize the actors. Okay, it's an Amazon original. I would not watch that. I don't have I have Amazon, but I don't use it to watch things. I think I've used Amazon once to watch one movie, and I bought the movie and regretted the decision. Actually, no. I got Amazon Prime so I could watch the movie. And then I watched the movie and regretted the decision. Love the actors. Regretted the movie. I did not like watching that. But no, I've seen this. But because it's on Amazon Prime, I will not watch it. Or Amazon Original. Whatever you want to call it. Amazon is just something I don't watch stuff on. But I've definitely seen this. I don't know why I've seen it, but I've definitely seen it. Why is their names on the opposite side of the paper? For the picture. Yeah, this is Prime Video. I wouldn't watch it. If I was to watch it on there, Dakota would have to tell me to watch it. Because I don't have Prime, but you have to, don't you?
I have Mom's on TV.
I don't watch it, but I might watch it. Oh, is this the one where they're like in a time loop? Is that what it is? Can't give spoilers. Give a chance. I will definitely give it a chance. Let me add it to my.
Where'd my sticky note go? There it is.
Yeah, at the time. Okay, so I've definitely seen parts of it. TikTok just recommends me movies and shows that I've never watched before. So I've definitely seen this kind of. And I either sit and like binge it on a TikTok or I go and find the actual show if it like leaves off on a cliffhanger. Need the name. Gotta breathe. Gotta remember to breathe if you're gonna chat like that. Tiny. Perfect. Things. Yeah, I've definitely seen it. Because weren't they trying to get out of the time loop? Like, at first they were okay with it and everything, and they were trying to figure it out, but then they get really upset and they were like, we need to get out of here, kind of thing. I watch young romance movies and series, but I don't like it at all. Like, at all. But it was one of I like because of the concept of the movie. That's fair. I mean, it sounded really cool. I just don't watch Amazon Prime. Is that all it's on, by the way? I need out. Get me out of the pictures. There's a book. It's based off of a book, apparently. Actually, I'm not surprised by that. A lot of stuff is. Oh my god, it was made in 2021. You know what's funny about that? I only started seeing it on TikTok like last year. I think I was pregnant when I saw it. Yeah. I recognize the girl actor a lot. I recognize them both, but I think the girl actor has one of those faces. Here we go, I found her name. Catherine Newton. She has one of those faces that you're like trying to figure out stuff. Oh, I know why I know her.
You figured it out?
Yeah. She's in a movie that I debate about watching, but I was like, do I want to know this? Okay, the question is coming. 500 Days of Summer. I know, of Summer. I know the actors in it. Sometimes I know pictures, like the cover art, or like some of the characters in it, before I know the actual movie. It looks familiar. I don't know if I watched it, though. Yo, you should have watched it before. I should have watched it, or I have watched it. I don't know. I definitely recognize the actors in some of the scenes, so I probably have seen some of it, but not all of it. Yeah. Why is it 500 days? It was so damn popular on that time. Not surprised. Especially with the actors. I'm really not surprised by that. you trying to play? Or do you have the hiccups? $7 years ago? Is that when it came out? Oh, it's on Hulu. I can watch that. Probably. What about La La Land? I've watched that. Years ago, though. It's been a minute. But it's mostly because I like the actress. Is that weird? I'll watch, like, depending on the actress or the actor in it, I will watch the movies no matter what. There's a movie that Emma Watson does. I love Emma Watson. I love her movies. There's one movie that she's in that I despised. It was horrible. It was called The Circle. Not good. Not a good movie. Don't recommend it. But I totally did watch it solely because she was in it. It's also why I watched the live action Beauty and the Beast. But that one was good.
That was decent.
Yeah. 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 Bubba definitely has the hiccups. While we're sitting here and going through things, I'm going to keep going through my Kindle books. La La Land was the first movie that I watched together with my ex, so cannot tell any good things about the movie. I love Gosling. That's fair. A lot of people love Gosling. Completely valid. The last part was heartbreaking. Yeah. You know a show that I watched that I enjoyed? Surviving Summer. That's a newer show though. I don't know if you watched it. Oh my god, The Kissing Booth is showing up on here. I watched The Kissing Booth. Watched it once. I watched it with my brothers. Do you know how uncomfortable I was watching that movie? With my little brothers? Never heard of it before. Which one? Surviving Summer? I'm assuming? It's a series on Netflix. It currently has 2 seasons. Pretty sure they are planning to... Surviving Summer? Yeah. I'm pretty sure they're planning on making a 3rd one. But it's about this girl that gets in... She's like she's honestly a juvenile delinquent. That is honestly just trying to get attention from her mom. That's the whole problem. Her mom doesn't give her enough and like any attention at all. Not even enough attention. She doesn't give her any attention. And that's pretty much what it is she has a horrible relationship with her mother because her mother just doesn't give a shit to care about her kind of situation. So her mom has this important photography trip to go on, and she's trying to find people to watch her daughter while she's gone. And no one wants to watch her because she's a juvenile delinquent. Woo! That just snapped off. Did you hear that?
I did.
Jeez. Let me fix that situation. So she calls her best friend in like high school, who she's still good friends with. It's just doesn't have a whole lot of contact with her, and ask her if she'll take her daughter for the summer. And for context, they live in, I believe, New York or something like that, or New Jersey, something around there. And her mother is from Australia. So she called her best friend, who lives in Australia, in the middle of the night to ask her if she could watch her daughter for the summer. And she goes there, obviously has a lot of issues. Pretty much learns how to surf while she's there. And makes friends, but like at the end of it, someone accuses her of something or other, and she just kind of decides to stay the bad guy. And she just tries to go to leave. Oh, I know what it is. Her mom called because she was excited to go and see her mom and try to work things out with her at the end of the first season, and her mom called and said that she is extending her time and wants her to stay longer or something like that. It's either that or the opposite, where mom's coming to get her and she's actually enjoying her friendship there and stuff. But she takes it out on all her friends that she's friends with there. And it ends up just being one hell of a mess at the end. But it's a small romance. There is romance in it, but it's about surfing. And one of the characters had a really bad accident. And couldn't surf for like a year, and he's getting back into surfing, and she's the only person that knows that he has panic attacks because he's trying to hide it to prove that he's okay and that he'll be good. And the end of this season is him finally telling his parents that he has panic attacks. That he has panic attacks, and that she's the only one that's known and has been helping him through, because the parents send her back with her mom because they considered her bad influence and horrible for their children. Sounds interesting. Yeah, and then the second season she goes back and she thinks, because at the end of the first season, the boy that has panic attacks kisses her, so she goes back the next summer. She has to go back for school, obviously, but she is trying to work things out with her mom.
Chew on that.
Get it. Get it. Get it, get it, get it. Her and the boy kiss at the end, so she goes back thinking automatically she's gonna have this relationship with him, which fucked up on her part. And he has got a girlfriend, and the girlfriend's jealous. And then there's a whole storyline about her being a horrible person and the girlfriend being jealous. When in reality, the girlfriend does not care about him as much as she presents that she cares about him. And she's just a big bully. And then they had, like, the girlfriend has a brother that the reason they've come to where they are living now and left the club, the surfing club they were in, was because he caused a fire, because he's considered also a juvenile delinquent. He caused a fire that got them all kicked off, and he blamed himself. When in reality, the reason they were kicked off out of the club wasn't because of him. He wasn't kicked out. They were, her and her older sister, who is a surf coach, were such big bullies that they kicked both of those girls out. And they blamed it on him and didn't tell them the true story of why they were kicked out of the club. So that becomes the second romantic interest. And then there's like this cute little love triangle that happens.
Look, you're being cute right now. Shit.
Yeah, he's literally just chatting. That's him chatting.
He's talking with us. He's not doing anything else. It's kind of surprising.
Yeah.
He'd be screaming his head off right now.
Yeah. But yeah, at the end of the second season, she gets back together with the or tries to. They decide they're gonna try to make their relationship work with the first one. It's because the pages are so small that I'm doing right now. She tries to make it work. They're gonna try to make it work, but I want her to be with the second dude, the other juvenile delinquent, which actually isn't. He's not really a delinquent. He's just a bad boy. He's very sweet and very kind and cares a lot about other people. No, I don't mind him. He's having fun. It's cute. Your ears hurt?
My ears hurt.
I mean, you could pick him up and play with him.
I don't know if that's gonna make him stop though.
But yeah, I think it's a pretty decent show. You might enjoy it. There's also I'm just looking at stuff. My favorite movies or like shows, the stuff I like to watch is like cheesy romance. It's like obvious romance stories. Mostly because they just don't make my brain work. I like to chill out when I watch stuff. Sometimes. And I'm just looking so that I have Work It is a romance story, but it's a cheesy kind of romance. Then there's Feel the Beat, and then The Perfect Date. I don't remember exact name, but okay. 5 Apartment Away. 5 Apartment Away? Do you mean 5 feet?
5 feet apart.
Yeah, 5 feet apart. We'll put that out there. Is that what you're 5 feet away? Okay, so I think it's 5 feet apart. Give me a sec. That one's heart-wrenching. Literally heart-wrenching. Five Apartment Away. Lol. Yeah, give me 1 second. See. Is it working? Here's the question. Oh, wait, hold on. There we go. This? Is this what you're talking about? You almost watched the part. Yes, this. Okay, 5 feet apart. This is it based off of a true story. Very heart-wrenching, very sad. Apparently the movie does not do the true story justice at all. Which, not surprised. It's a cute movie though. But I guess the person that this story's about is actually like very upset with this movie. They are not happy about this movie. It was not a good movie. She doesn't feel it. I don't think she feels it portrayed her story well enough. Because I think she wrote a book about it, about her story. I know there's a book. I have the book. Somewhere.
Here, there, everywhere.
Yeah, I have the book somewhere in here. But it's called the same thing. It's 5 feet apart, I'm pretty sure. But, yeah, she... Let me turn off my Inception situation going here. She was very upset. She didn't appreciate the movie, to my understanding. But it's a good movie. Now, I don't know if it was a book, if it has a book. I have a lot of young romance movies that Average Boy in his early 20s, just between you and me. Nobody knows it. Okay. I mean, I have no judgment. There's nothing wrong with romance movies and watching them. There's a lot of stipulation against that, though. There's a lot of people that are like, if you are a boy that watches romance movie and enjoys romance movies like rom-coms and shit, you're too feminine, you're gay. Yeah, I don't believe that. I just believe you choose what you want to watch, and that's just something you enjoy. Personally, for me, the fact that I like the romance movies that I watch and the shows that I watch are just mind numbing. Like, they don't make my brain work. So sometimes I just want to watch them because I don't have to think about things. That, and I'm a sucker for romance. I'm just not very good at it in real life. What? Am I? Are you counteracting my statement? What about last summer? Oh, I've definitely heard that one. Let me look. I've definitely heard of it. I've not watched it from the looks of it, though. Why is it when I looked up last summer, I just got a bunch of horror movies? That was rude. Just watched because of me and Michelle. Fair. You mean Maya Mitchell? Am I looking at the right thing? I feel like I'm looking at the wrong thing. She's not in here. I think I'm looking at the wrong thing. Hold on. Maya Mitchell. I'm always gonna spell her name wrong. Is that right? Is that who we're talking about? You're on the wrong movie right now. Okay. Are we talking about Maya Mitchell though? Is that who we're talking about? Ah, I found it. I found it. No, I'm still getting fucking horror stories. Horror movies. I just want to look at the images of this movie, not the horror movies. Thank you very much. You're unhelpful. Google is unhelpful right now. Where's this playing? I did find the movie, but every time I click on it, it wants to take me something different. Ah, okay. I found their page. Okay, I definitely know what you're talking about. I know what this is. I haven't watched the full movie. It's another one of those things that I found it on TikTok and I watched a good bit of it. I have not watched the full movie though. But I know what you're talking about. Do I need to add this to my list? I have currently 3 things on my list that I apparently need to watch. I am searching a movie that you probably watched it before. Okay. I'm gonna write this movie down. Last summer. That's not how you spell. I spelled it wrong, but I know what I'm talking about. By the way, when I go out of camera to write something down, it's because I don't want to hit my head on my mic. Okay, so one of the actors that's on here, that's in this movie, that you just told me about, he played in Teen Wolf. He was Teen Wolf. Do you know what Teen Wolf is? That's a good show. You should watch that show. I kid you not. I started watching it because someone recommended it to me, and then I only stayed watching it because of Dylan O'Brien. I know, but never tried before. I enjoyed it, but personally, I watch it for Dylan O'Brien. His character. Okay, this is a romance book that I have in my hand. I'm putting the rest of my TBR together. Which, I bought another book. Don't worry, it was only like $3. But I bought another book for Kindle. It's one of the ones that we discussed that I should actually finish reading. So I bought the Kindle one. And I bought it after I made the rest of these Kindle books. So now I have to do that again. And it makes me upset. I might just take one of these, like, I have these, like, papers in here from when I did it last. I might just take this and write it down on. Because it's literally one book. Have you found the movie you were looking for? You found? Ooh. I am ready with Google. If I don't know it already. What was that? Love Rosie. Oh, wait, I think I know what you're talking about. I can spell, I swear. Yes, I do. I do know what you're talking about. That one's a mess. Love the actors in it, though. Yeah. I have like a soft spot for anything that Sam Laughlin, is that how I say it? Anything that he's in, I have a soft spot for it. Solely for his appearance in Hunger Games. Hello, welcome back. We're talking about Love Rosie right now. You like it, honestly? See, I don't hate it. I don't. My only thing is it's kind of odd. But I guess it's like meant to be one of those slow burn stories. I don't know. The fact that it took that long is what bothers me. But I guess I've also never... See, I can't even say I haven't tried to date my best friend. I did. It did not work. I didn't actually try to date him. I had a crush on him, but he made it very clear he did not have a crush on me, and then, like, we still remained friends. But it was actually discussed. It wasn't like an innuendo where we didn't actually discuss it. We discussed it. So... I don't know. I guess it's a little different, because we actually discussed it pretty early on in our friendship, actually, too. When I realized I had a crush on him, it was like a year into our friendship. And we discussed it like a year into our friendship. And then it got rediscussed multiple times because people kept trying to get us together. It was funny. So, we agreed to go to our senior prom together. As friends. Neither of us were in a relationship at the time. We agreed the year prior to go if we weren't dating anyone. That way it wasn't, like, uncomfortable or awkward to find an actual date, you know? I ended up going by myself. But we actually agreed to go together, and our secretary at our school was trying to set people up for prom, which is very creepy, in my opinion. You definitely give a chance for the Secret Dare to Dream. That is also not that bad. Secret Dare to Dream. Is that what it is, or is it a chance for the what's the name? Just type the actual name so I can type it up. So I can search it. Okay. The Secret Dare to Dream. So, yeah, our school secretary was setting people up to have dates for prom, which is very creepy. In all considerations, very creepy. But I wasn't actually going to school at the time, and neither was my best friend. We were both online schooling. Him because his family was concerned about COVID, because this was our senior year, 2021, or 2020 to 2021. So his family was concerned about COVID. I just couldn't focus in class, so I asked to be at home for schooling. But I came in every Friday to pick up my best friend to go take her to lunch, because on Fridays they was it Fridays? I don't know. They served literally only pepperoni rolls for lunch, because most people went to a different place. They called it Gap. It was like religious education that you could do during summer or during the lunch break. So they didn't actually feed you, because most people went to that just for the pizza. But I went once and didn't enjoy sitting through the conversation. I only went because my boyfriend at the time asked me to, because it was his religion that was speaking that day. But senior year, I wasn't in a relationship at this time. No, I was, but my relationship didn't go to my school, so that's one thing. But we had agreed to go together for our senior year. That way it was just, friendship, having fun. We didn't have to worry about dates and having to be around our dates and, enjoying ourselves. The secretary gave my friend that I was picking up for lunch a note and asked her to give it to me. She said specifically, do not open it. Please give this to her, because she knew she was coming to see me for lunch. And she was getting in the car and she goes, dude, so frustrated. This girl, so frustrated with this secretary at the time. She goes, dude, can I open this? This is for you. Can I open this? Because I think I know what it is. And I'm like, yes, you can open it. I don't give a shit. She opens the sticky note and it says, will you go to prom with my best friend's name? and I was like, what the fuck? And she started screaming. My best friend started screaming. She's like, this is so stupid. Hello. She started screaming. She was so upset. She thought it was so stupid because she found it very creepy that this like 40-year-old woman was setting up people for prom. Which is fair. That was very creepy. What happened then? So I read it, and I just looked at my best friend once he calmed down, and I was like, I thought I was already going to prom with him. I was very confused on why I was getting this note. And I had a presentation later that day. So when we came back for lunch, I actually came back into the school and signed in for my presentation. And she goes, did you get my note? What'd you think about my note? And I looked at her confused for a second and go, well, I already thought I was going to prom with him. So yes. And he goes, oh, I didn't know you guys agreed. I asked him the other day, and he seemed okay. He like had no issue. Loved the idea of going to prom with you. So I just figured I'd ask you how you felt. And I was like, why are you setting people up? Why are you setting teenagers
I'd have told her she was a fucking creep. I would have hurt feelings. I don't care. It's fucking
up?
weird.
It's fair. It was weird. But I just left it be. But he was coming in later that day, and I had texted him and go, did you talk to the secretary about prom? And he goes, yeah, I kind of got bombarded. She just I walked in the office to sign in for a class that I had to be in there for, because he came in for presentations too.
Come on.
He looked so sad and so happy when to go to pick him up at the same time. But he's like, yeah, I came in for my class presentation, which I already knew about. He was coming in for that day. And it's behind there.
I remember.
He goes, she pretty much rushed me. As soon as he walked in, she came out of her office and goes, hey, I have a question for you. It's very important. Made him come into her office to discuss going to prom with me. Which, again, we're best friends, have been best friends by this point for 7 years? 6 years? Something like that. So it wasn't like we didn't talk to each other. And he goes, yeah, I was very confused in that moment, situation-wise. And I was like, okay, just figured I'd mention it because she gave me a note. She gave my best friend a note to give to me to ask me if I would want to go to prom with you, which I was under the impression we were still doing together. And he goes, yeah, I was too, but I just didn't know what to answer to that question. I was like, okay, cool. But it was weird because I went to the office another day, and I was sitting and talking to her because I had no classes to do anything in my senior year. Most of my classes I showed up to because I was bored. I was sitting in her office and we were talking, and she was asking me about if I had asked him to prom or if he had asked me to prom, and I was like, I was under the impression we were already going to prom together. And then another teacher comes in and goes, I've been wanting you guys to date for years. For literal years. Because apparently we're really good connection-wise. We're best friends. I reiterate again. Of course we're really good connection-wise. You know how many people in high school would walk up to me? My best friend had no idea this was happening, apparently. And I don't understand how he didn't know. But I'm also irritated he didn't know, because that meant people came to me to ask me these questions and never came to him to ask the questions. The amount of times that people came up to me and asked if we were dating, which some of these people knew I had a boyfriend and was in a relationship with said boyfriend. But also, they'd either ask me if I was dating him or if I was fucking him behind my boyfriend's back. Go to his face. Because apparently that's my character. People just got that off my character. Was that I was effing my best friend behind my boyfriend's back. Sounds complicated. Yeah.
Sounds like high school.
Uh-huh. Not only did I not date him, I definitely wasn't fucking him. And he had no idea that these questions were being asked. I never mentioned it to him when I got asked them because I didn't care. But we talked about it a year two ago ish, and we were discussing why people that people always ask me questions about us dating and stuff. And we were on the phone call with another friend of ours, and he was like, "I'm sorry, you said what? When did people ask you these questions? Why didn't you mention it to me?" I was like, I didn't even know where to start with mentioning it to you. It was weird. And then he goes, "No, I don't believe people would do that, especially the people that were asking me that question." And then this other friend that was in the phone call with us go, "Oh yeah, no, that totally happened. A lot." Why? I don't understand. But apparently my character is that I have a boyfriend and mess around with other people. I just gave off that character vibes. Which is weird because to my understanding, I just gave off didn't give a shit vibes. Don't know how they correlate perfectly that way. But it was nice to know how people thought of me. I don't know. It was weird. But funny story with the prom situation. I came into class one day. I was a part of a club meeting that had gotten like Olive Garden breadsticks to cater it. And I was in there for like 3 hours. It was a big club meeting. We were doing some kind of presentation or shit. But they had catered it with Olive Garden. And so I grabbed some breadsticks because I loved Olive Garden breadsticks. And I still do. I grabbed breadsticks and then I snagged another bag just for him. And I come into the classroom to see him because I knew he was in that class that day. And I just go, "I got a present for you." And he goes, "I need to talk to you about something." And I'm like, "That sounds horrible. First, I'll give you the present because that's a nice present." I plopped down the Olive Garden breadsticks. He goes, "Oh my God, I love you." And now I feel even worse. I was like, "What the fuck? What are you talking about?" He looks at me, looks like he's on the verge of tears. He feels so bad. And I think I've told you this story. I'm not sure. But
If you have, I don't remember it.
I'm sitting down. I'm like, okay, giving you the Olive Garden breadsticks. I'm gonna eat one because whatever's about to come out of your mouth, if it makes you feel bad, I want to be munching on something good. He goes, "So, we can't go to prom together." And I just looked at him confused.
Oh yeah, you did.
I was like, okay, why? My thought process immediately goes to his mother because his mom did not like me in school. She was very, very cautious. Did not want me around him in school. I don't entirely know why, but my best guess was she thought I wanted to fuck him. That and my mom went to school with her, and she knew my mom. And my mom wasn't very nice in school. She wasn't a bully, but she was, my mom, a bitch.
Didn't.
Not a people person. But she stood up to the bullies. That's what's funny is a lot of people don't like her because she was just a bitch. But she stood up to the bullies. She broke a boy's nose. Straight up broke a boy's nose. Back to the story because I'm gonna travel. He goes to tell me the story. He's like, "I accidentally said yes to someone when they asked me to prom." And I go, "How do you accidentally say yes to someone?" And he goes, "Okay, I'm gonna tell you the story." He said, "Please don't be mad at me." I'm like, "I'm not mad, but like, tell me the story." He then goes, "So it was after practice yesterday." I was like, "The practice that I stopped by and saw you at before I left school?" And he goes, "Yep. It was after practice. It was really late. I was really tired. All I wanted to do was get out and go home." So he changed real quick because he did track. He changed real quick out of his uniform into regular clothes, got out to his vehicle, was going out to his vehicle, speed running pretty much because he was so tired and wanted to get home before he passed out. And this girl chases him down and goes, "I wanted to ask you a question. Would you go to prom with me as a friend? Just a friend. It doesn't have to be anything else. I just want to go to prom with a friend." And he, wanting to get out of the conversation, goes, "Yeah, sure," and then walks away. And then he gets in the vehicle, sits in his truck, and then bats his head against the back of the seat for a second and goes, "Fuck!" My favorite story. This is my favorite story ever. And then he looked at me and goes, "Please don't be mad." And I'm sitting there on the verge of tears, trying not to laugh because he felt so bad. And all I wanted to do was sit there and cry laugh because it was so funny. He made a face. He's like, "Please say something." And I just started laughing my head off. And I felt bad because he felt bad. And I laughed at his feeling bad. But it was just how it went. And he goes, "Are you mad at me?" And I'm like, "No, I'm not mad at you. I just think it's hilarious." Situation. I was like, "I'll go by myself. It's okay." But we were literally the day before the day that he had said yes to this girl, we were literally discussing that we were gonna buy a couples ticket because it saved us money. And we just hadn't bought it. We were gonna buy it literally that day. I brought in money to buy it. And then he told me that, and I was crying. It was so funny. Man, hella things went on in high school. I have totally zero that kind of moments during my high school, just studying in military discipline. I mean, that's a bit different. It's a bit different story-wise. But there's more to that a little bit. I'm in band class later that day. Is this orange or red? It's orange. I'm in band class later that day. This girl that I'm in class with, that I'm actually friends with, is talking about how they convinced a girl to ask a guy to prom because she had a crush on him. Which I told my best friend that she definitely had a crush on him and he needed to be careful. Because he wasn't looking for a relationship at that time. That's why he was going to prom with me. I was like, beware, she probably has a big crush on you and is just hiding it. Because when people specifically state, go just as friends, that's not what they want. They want a relationship. But they're pretty sure that you're not going to say yes if they don't iterate that it's just friends. Because why is that automatically in your brain unless you have feelings for the other person? Or you think the other person has feelings for you? Why is having to say specifically as friends in your brain? But they were talking about how they had to convince a girl to go and ask the guy that they liked to prom because she was so scared. And they were like, "Don't worry, he doesn't have a date, yada yada yada." And I looked at them and I go, "He had a date." And they go, "What are you talking about?" I'm like, "I was the date." And they're like, "What do you mean?" And I go, "I was going with him. We were literally going to buy tickets today. I was the date." And both this girl and like my best friend Kelbell was sitting beside me, and she's just looking at me mortified. And this girl goes, she's like, "You were the date? Why did he say yes?" And I go, "He was fucking tired and got fucking cornered. He wanted to go home." She goes, "I'm so sorry. I'll go talk to her. We'll handle this. We'll get this figured out." And I'm like, "Dude, I don't care that much. Don't care that much. It's just funny." I remember I had a high school crush who was in class with me when I offered her a date I love that it's in quotation marks. Only thing we can do, we go canteen together and eat. That's a date. That could be a date. That's a good date. We like food dates.
Our date's always ended.
Our dates always end in foods. But she
Not fair.
refused me. Right now she's in an academy for being an F-15 pilot. You are exactly living in that moment while you were telling the story. Great. Yeah, I was sitting there. I was like, I was the date. I literally go, he had a date. And they're like, what? And I go, I was the date. But yeah, they like panicked and were like, we'll figure it out, we'll fix it. It's okay. And I was like, no, it's fine. I don't care. I think it's hilarious. He already told me. He feels bad, but I think it's hilarious. And I continue to tell the story over and over again. And I told my mom the story like 2 days later or something like that. And she goes, you're telling this story about this girl that's in your school. About how he didn't want to go with her. And when she actually asked him because she probably had a crush on him, I go, oh, I know she had a crush on him. And Mom goes, maybe you shouldn't be telling this story. And I go, I don't give a shit. She lied to him, and because he's gullible as fuck, truly believed that he was going to this prom with a friend and only a friend. I was like, I don't give a shit. I'll tell anyone. And they're like, she's like, what if it gets back to her? That's gonna really hurt her feelings. I'm like, good. She's lying to him. Cause the whole time, but when she asked, it was like still a month or two away from prom. And that entire 2 months, I think it was 2 months, that entire 2 months, she kept saying that they were only going as friends and everything like that, because there were certain situations that he was a little weirded out by, and was thinking in his brain, this only happens with couples. And she kept reassuring, no, it's just friends, it's fine, it's just friends. She had a huge crush on him and lied the entire time. Of course I didn't give a shit if it got back to her. The story of him accidentally saying yes to her. I didn't care. I'm like, I'm not friends with her. She's stringing my best friend along in this lie charade that she's come up with. And he's going with it because he truly believes she's telling the damn truth. I'm like, I don't care. I mean, I could have been a bully in school, I don't know, but I don't think that was me being a bully. I think she genuinely deserved it because she was lying to him the entire time. And then when they went to do pictures, because, pictures happen before prom usually. They went to do pictures, and she made it a point, and her family made it a point to do family pictures with him. And make him and her pose in uncomfortable couple picture kind of poses. And he was unhappy the entire time, and he was supposed to meet up with me at one point and take pictures with me, because again, he's my best friend. We do everything together growing up. He was supposed to take pictures with me at one point. And I never saw him before prom. Not once. Actually, I think I did. But I was getting ready to leave. Because I was hungry and I wanted food. We have no prom. Do you do prom every end of the year or just before you graduate from high school? So prom is for juniors and seniors here. At least my school is. Prom is for juniors and seniors. So at the end of the year of your junior and senior year, which is the last 2 years of school in high school. If you're asked by a junior or a senior, you can go as a younger classman. but you cannot go otherwise unless you're volunteering to be like a worker there. For example, my cousin, he started dating a girl his senior year and she was a freshman, which is a whole uncomfortableness in my opinion. That's 4-year gap right there. In school. But he started dating a girl her freshman year and it was his senior year. He asked her to prom with him senior year. His junior year. They were closer in age, sorry. His junior year, he asked her to prom. And then they were still together senior year, so they went again together. Now she was a sophomore at that point. And then when she was a junior and senior, she was still dating him, so she took him to prom. So they both went to prom for 4 years. We just do a graduation ceremony at the end of the 4th year graduation year. I mean, that's fair. It's not very fun, but it's fair. We had other dances throughout the year, the different years, but the prom was specifically for juniors and seniors. I'm not entirely sure why it's such a big deal. I got a dress. I wore the dress. I went by myself. A lot of people made a big deal about going by themselves and that they couldn't go by themselves. That's wrong. I went by myself because of the Logan situation. Which is still hilarious to me. I will still laugh my head off every single time I tell that story.
Still gotta give him shit about it.
Yeah, I do. I give him shit about it almost at least once a year. It brings me joy. It's too funny. It's way too funny to not make fun of. But yeah, he made her pose a bunch of pictures with her, like, in weird coupley poses, and then there was, pictures where he posed with her family and shit like that, and he was very creeped out. He was like, this feels like a girlfriend and boyfriend relationship thing. He didn't say this until after prom, but it did make him really creepy. And then she was attached to him at the hip the entire prom. Like, if he walked away from her for like 10 seconds, she'd find him and like grip him, and he was stuck. It was bad. Like, she was always there. It was uncomfortable for him. He did not enjoy it. She's in. So I had a group picture because I went by myself. I didn't have anyone to pose with date-wise, but I did a group picture with me and my friends, and I had to ask her to be part of it because she wouldn't leave his side. So she's in our group picture of my prom with my senior year friends because she wouldn't go away. So to get him to come with me, because she just wouldn't leave his side and wouldn't detach from him, I had to ask her to join the picture. So she's in our prom picture. Our group prom picture together. And that was fun. But he promised me one dance at prom, so I grabbed him for a dance and took him with me. I asked her permission to take him because she wouldn't release him from her side. And while we were dancing, he was dead tired. He was so exhausted, so done with everything. And I was like, "Are you okay?" And he goes, "I'm gonna have to tell you about this another day because I'm too tired for this, but this was the worst dance I've ever been to." And he's been to a couple of them. And I'm like, "I'm so sorry." He goes, "I wish that once I realized what I had done," and I think he said this. I could be wrong. I'm pretty sure I remember him saying this, that he wished that he had told her that he actually didn't want to go with her and it was an accident that he said yes. I told him he wasn't allowed to do that because he did actually say he was going to do that at one point. I told him he wasn't allowed to do that because I was like, I made the statement that this girl had a crush on him. I was like, she definitely has a crush on you. I don't care what you say to me. I know what the fuck I'm talking about. I was like, she has a crush on you. And if you go and tell her that you accidentally said yes, that's going to spread around the school about you being a shitty person. Just because you didn't want to go with her and you accidentally said yes. So I wouldn't allow him to not go with her. Because he didn't need that. That's just extra exhaustion that he didn't care about. Because he wasn't a social person. He was not a person that would go out of the way and make a bunch of friends. And he easily made friends because he was just that kind of person. But he didn't need to be the gossip of the school. So I wouldn't let him. We never talked about prom after prom night. Wait, I missed a thing. I didn't even know if we took a prom pic because me and the boys were damn high. We never talked about prom after prom night, probably. We had some bad moments. Low. Yeah, probably. Sounds like it. I brought a McDonald's chocolate shake into my prom. And it was funny because the people that were chaperoning it knew me pretty well, and they saw the shake and they're like, yeah, that's kind of on brand. I was hungry. I was there to take pictures when everyone had agreed to go and take pictures, and no one was there. I was by myself for nearly an hour. Standing in the rain, by the way. I had an umbrella, but I was standing in the rain because I was tired of sitting on my ass because I felt sweaty. So I was standing in the rain outside with an umbrella in my hand, casually eating a cupcake with full face of makeup and a fancy dress on. There's probably a picture. I could probably find a picture. Now I want to find a picture. We're gonna look for a picture. But I was there an hour before everyone else arrived. And I was so irritated because everyone agreed to meet up at a specific time and no one was there. And then people started trickling in around the hour mark that I was sitting there. And my mom posted a memory of 3 years ago. My mom posted a picture for Mother's Day for my grandma, and herself, like 3 years ago, and it was a picture of me, my grandmother, and my mom, when I was younger, years prior, and then she posted an updated picture of me, after we moved to Arizona. Me and her after we moved to Arizona, and then she posted it again and says how things have changed. Now I'm a grandma, and grandma is a great grandma 2 times over because my one of my cousins has a child as well. So there's just a cute little updated picture. Let me see. I think there's an album that my mom posted for prom pictures. But I want to show you guys. I stood there in my prom dress, all makeuped up. And my mom has a picture of me eating a cupcake. All fancy dancy. You can go for a cupcake? That's fair. Oh, there's my beautiful best friend and her beautiful dress. She was our school's queen. Aha, I found the prom pictures. Let me find a picture that doesn't
Say, look, mommy.
show other people in it. It's just me. Here we go. Okay. I'm gonna have to probably move this around a bit. But I found a picture. You will see my mom's name, by the way. Just FYI. My mom doesn't care, though. This is me. In my prom dress, eating a cupcake. one picture, and then there's the other picture. That was me munching on the cupcake. It was classic. I was classic. I had food almost everywhere I went. My grandma had like cupcakes, and I was standing there, and I looked at her. I was like, I want a cupcake, and she gave it to me. And I sat there in the rain, holding an umbrella, eating a cupcake, trying not to get cupcake icing all over my face. Like my outfit, love. And yes, I wore high tops to my prom. Converse with the outfit, yeah. I wear high tops to everything. I have platformed high tops now. I wear high tops to everything. I very rarely wear any other shoe type except for flip flops when I don't want to put shoes on. High tops take a lot of time. It's a hot minute to tie those shoes, man. But yeah. I stood and ate a cupcake, waiting for people to show up for prom pictures. I think I'm right then and there. I'm making faces at my dad because my dad made a comment to me, and I was like, had a cupcake in my mouth, so I couldn't make the comment. I couldn't make a snarky comment back, so I had to wait for a minute to make the comment back. But yeah, we left here after all the pictures that I took with my friends and stuff. We left here, and went. I looked at them. I was like, I'm hungry. I want fucking food. So we went to McDonald's, and we got food because I was the only one that showed up to the pictures on time. I apparently didn't get the memo that everyone was being later than that. So I was the only one that showed up on time. And I got fucking hungry. So I was like, I want McDonald's. I want a McDonald's shake. So we went and got McDonald's. I ate some chicken nuggets because it was the safest thing for me to eat with my dress and makeup. And then I got a chocolate shake. And I took the chocolate shake with me into prom. I made sure to put it down. I was given the one stipulation when I went to take the chocolate shake with me into prom. My mom told me I wasn't allowed to walk because they did like this prom walk where we like showed off our outfit to all our parents and stuff. I wasn't allowed to walk with the chocolate shake. That was the one rule I was given. So I put it off to the side along with my leather jacket, by the way. I had a leather jacket that I wore with this outfit. And I put both of those aside and I did my walk. And as I was coming back up, because you did the walk, because you were going like downstairs and then around and then upstairs and then you're going up another set of stairs because the prom was on the top floor. What's the towel on the ground for? It was raining. It was to keep my dress, the bottom of my dress, from getting wet because it dragged. So that was their attempt of making sure my dress wasn't wet. But yeah, we looped around to the bottom, came back up, and I had my thing at the top of the stairs, so I grabbed those and then went back into the the upstairs to go into the prom, and everyone saw me with the chocolate shake and they were like, oh my god, that's so on brand. I'm one of a kind, man. One of a kind. I had food on me everywhere. We found out while I was pregnant that the reason I had food on me everywhere and I needed food on me everywhere is because I have a condition that means I metabolize through things way faster than I probably should. Which is why I constantly had food on me. Oh, it took me all the way back. I wanted to look at the album. You bitch. I wanted to look at the album and see if there was any more pictures to share. We look again. My mom posts all of her pictures on Facebook. Yeah, it's a whole album of senior year. Kid you not. There's a picture of one of my friends. She's standing next to her date. My friend is 5 foot. She's 5 foot, which I could post her picture online because she's actually a content creator, not a big one yet, but she's making her way up the chain. I could post her picture online, and I'm sure she wouldn't mind because she looks beautiful in that dress. But her date probably not. But she's 5 foot, and her date is over 6 foot. Here, Bubby, you can see it.
Show me that one.
He's so tall. It's just funny. Yeah, my mom also doing that. Yeah, fair. And there's a picture of me and my cousin. So when we were standing around, they told us that we weren't allowed to walk by ourselves. We had to walk with someone. So there was us, our poor single people, running around trying to find a second person to walk with. And one of my cousins found me, and she goes, "Do you have a date?" And I go, "No." And she goes, "Cool, you're walking with me." I'm like, "Awesome." Make this walk fun. Odd things to share. This prom pictures. I'm looking at prom pictures now. My younger cousin and I went to prom together because he was a junior and I was a senior. So we went to prom at the same time. And the girl that he's at prom with is a girl that he literally had just broken up with not that long before. But they had already agreed to go to prom together. So they just went to prom together. But she also had a boot on her foot because I think she broke her foot. So she had a boot on her foot. And she got a dress that purposely hid the boot. But she did the walk without her crutches because she wanted to look nice. And then when she got back up the stairs, she was like, "Oh my god, someone give me my crutches. I need a break." It was funny. But funny enough, when I didn't have a date to prom, the first person I asked, I didn't ask my best friend. The first person I asked if they wanted to go to prom with me was my older cousin because his senior prom was during COVID. So his senior prom actually got canceled. They didn't have it. And he didn't go to his junior prom because of a situation with a girl that he was dating at the time. So I asked him if he wanted to go to my senior prom. And he goes, "Well, none of my friends are going to be there." I was like, "I guarantee you, most of your friends are going to be there. Most of your friends probably are either dating seniors or they ask seniors to go with them. Or if they could go with some of the seniors, that way they could go to prom. I guarantee you a lot of your friends are there." And he goes, "No, it's fine. You find a date, it's fine." I was like, "I don't have a date. I don't want a date. You're fine. Do you want to go with me or not?" And he goes, "No, it's okay." And funny enough, a lot of his friends were actually at the prom because they had actually, seniors in my grade took them. That way they could enjoy a prom. Now I'm literally just looking at my pictures from my senior year that my mom took. My mom has a picture problem. Here's this one. You guys, I think you'll enjoy this one. This is my cap from my graduation. This is my cap that my mom made. My mom oh so graciously made. I gave her what I wanted, and she made it. And she took it from one of the movies that I enjoyed. This was my graduation cap. Took her like 4 days or something like that to make it, by the way. That's this up here, this is puffy paint. She used puffy paint to make the writing. Though it was funny because a lot of people were like, when they asked me what my cap was, I told them they'd have to wait for graduation to see it and stuff. Because I just like that. But they were like, did you make it? Did you have fun making it? Yada, yada, yada. Because some people didn't make theirs. I was like, oh no, my mom made it. I gave her an option, what I wanted, and she made it. And they're like, well, you're supposed to make it. That's what the point is. And I'm like, my mom's better at it than I am. Thank you very much. She made it. But yeah, that's my cap. I like how we've gotten completely off topic though. I love it.
Yeah, it didn't take long.
I love it. Though there's a related movie to prom conversation, The Perfect Date. That one's about prom. Not fully in its entirety, but like the ending and the date situation is prom. Funny enough. So it correlates. You know a movie that I watched as a kid that I loved? Also about prom? Sky High.
That was good.
That is a good movie. I, in fact, own that. How's Bubba doing?
Sleeping.
Oh, yeah? Oh. Yeah, no, Sky High. It's about superhero children, if you've never watched it. Never heard of it? Okay, give me a second, I'll show you a picture of it. It's a good one though. It's a kid's show. It's a kid movie, sorry. But it's a good enough movie that I feel like adults could enjoy it too. Still. You know? What do you think?
I agree.
Whoops. Did not need to make full screen here. This. It's a superhero movie. And the like whole climax of it is at prom. It happens. So these are children becoming most of them are freshmen, going up to freshman year, and then this person, he does not have superpowers. His two parents are like the most well-known superheroes of the time and has like the best powers or whatever they consider best powers. And at this point, he has not developed his superpowers yet. But he's trying to hide it. But he didn't hide it for very long because he got stuck in the sidekick class. Or not stuck, he was put into the sidekick class because his abilities weren't considered great because he didn't have any. But the villain of the story is one of the seniors in this, which she actually is not a senior. She apparently is a like mad scientist that went to school with his parents, and she had a vendetta against his parents and decided to use prom as was it prom or was it
Remember.
I don't know. It was something, some big event, but his parents were there because I think they were being honored for something or other. And, she used her abilities. I'm going to spoil it a little bit. She used her scientific abilities to turn everyone into babies. Like all the actual adult superheroes into babies so she could take over. But she had managed to keep herself young for, I don't know, 17 years, I think. Something like that. Slow him down if you need to. But the whole like thing is about how this girl that has a vendetta against his parents tries to take over as the supervillain of the story and the teenage children of these superheroes are the saviors, and specifically who they consider is the sidekicks of the story become the saviors of everyone. And this girl here, don't know if you recognize her. I might need a different picture because she's very photoshopped in that image. This, my God, I'm spacing on her name right now. She's in The Flash. She's done a lot of younger kids movies. Like, she was very, very big actress when she was a teenager and like early 20s, but she's in The Flash as Dr. Caitlin Snow. Don't know if you watched that. But her abilities is nature. She can like manipulate nature a little bit. And I mean like plants nature-wise. But they're best friends and she actually secretly is in love with him. And at the end of the story they actually date. But like this is the sidekick group. They're friends. These are the sidekicks here. What they consider sidekicks. And then he is actually the child of a supervillain and superhero. And his name is literally War and Peace. Which I just thought was one stellar of a name. Yes! Daniel Panabaker. Yep. I think when this movie came out, she was one of the most known actresses in it, because of her work prior. But yeah, these are the sidekicks. She turns into a guinea pig. He's a literal glow stick. And he turns into goop, I guess you could say. He can turn into goop. And then she can control nature, which they considered as a sidekick power, but she actually is able to use it for her advantage really well. And later on is considered a superhero. Like all of them are later on considered a superhero, but her ability, the only reason they considered her a sidekick is she refused to present her ability in front of the class because she thought it was stupid. It was ridiculous that they were being sectioned off and stuff like that. She was like, her character is like an activist in multiple different aspects. But she thought it was stupid, so she refused to show her power, so that she was automatically sent as a sidekick. Even though her ability is probably the best out of all of them. And she could have been considered a superhero if she actually showed the abilities. But she didn't. And then he obviously didn't have any abilities until like the end of the movie. His abilities finally kicked in when they threw him out a window. Was it?
I think so.
Yeah, his flying ability finally kicked in when they threw him out a window. And then he discovered his strength ability a little bit later, I think. So he actually got both of his parents' ability. His dad is like Mr. Macho Man, pretty much, and his mom can fly. So he actually got both of the parents' abilities. He was a late bloomer. But it's like later, oops, I hit my camera. It's like later presented that his parents are not his mom in entirety, but his dad is very disappointed that he's a sidekick because he measures his worth off of superhero ability, pretty much. So he doesn't have the greatest relationship with his dad, but because he lies to his dad about having a power for like 5 years of his life or something like that. I don't know.
Again, haven't watched it in forever.
Yeah. Now I want to watch it though. It's a good movie. It is a good movie. I'm just looking at other pictures and stuff. Oh, I used to wear dresses in senior year. Just comfy dresses around the house. Ooh, our senior trip. We had a senior trip and then we had a senior boat trip. Our senior trip was to Cedar Point, which is an amusement park. Love amusement parks. It was so fun. I got burnt though. My nose is burnt, swollen. I put like multiple layers of makeup on for graduation because the senior trip was like 3 days before graduation. I got burnt. My poor nose was swollen. It was red. It was like 3 times the size that it should have been. And then it got scabs because it swelled up from sun poisoning, like the bubbles from sun poisoning. It swelled up, and then the bubbles popped. And I have a thing where I touch my nose a lot, so the bubbles popped, and then I had scabs, really bad looking scabs on my nose, which I covered up with multiple layers of makeup. Green. This one is green. So many of my I made these this list here that has my Kindle books in it, and I categorize them off of their description. And when I started putting them in my book collection list, they're different categories because I was just trying to put them in quickly, so most of them are fantasy. But yeah, senior trip. Aw, look. There's me and Logan. I'm not gonna show his face on camera either. But we had we took a couple of pictures together. There's a funny picture. I don't know if it's in here. It might be. Yes, it is. So we were on a boat, and the other friend that I was telling that I told you about that was in the phone call when I told my best friend about the people thinking that we messed around in high school. And there's a picture of them, which neither of their faces are showing, so I'm actually going to show you this one. But we were on a boat, and of course, being the nerdy dorks that all of us are, they decided they needed to do and just, like, look how small that got. Tried to pick it up and move it, and I shrunk it. They had to do a Titanic moment. Neither of their faces are showing, so. And that was the closest they could get to the Titanic moment on the ship. On the boat. Who... That guy's. Okay, so the white hoodie, this is my best friend, and then this is one of our friends that we grew up with. He's so close to my family that he's pretty much my cousin. I consider him my cousin. When I tell people I don't know about him, I usually reference him as my cousin. I'm lost in my mom's Facebook album right now. Fair. But yeah, they had to do a Titanic moment, of course, because their faces aren't showing. I'll allow you guys to revel in that moment. It was funny to me. I had to get a picture of it. They just randomly decided they were gonna do that. Yeah. I'm literally just going through the my senior year album. There's a picture of me in my graduation, and when I look at my nose, I can see the swelling at the like end of my nose, like right here. I can see the swelling, but it had gone down quite a bit, thankfully, by that point. You're okay. Hey, you're okay. You want your blanket? Hey. We're right here. Hi, Smooth. Look, I got Jerry too. Do you want Jerry? You want Jerry? You're okay. We're right over here. We're not going nowhere. Sometimes he just wakes up and realizes we're nowhere near him, or he can't see us in his view, and he thinks he's been left alone and just starts crying. Oh, here we go. Here we go. This is prime my childhood. This is my car. This was my first car. We recently had to scrap her for parts. Sadly, she could not be fixed. Please revel in her beauty. I chose this color at 15 to paint this car. And it was beautiful. Love the color. Everyone knew where I was. My mom was never concerned about me doing anything bad because everyone knew who I was. There's my oh so beautiful car though. Her name was Flo. I named her after Flo from the Cars movie. Though everyone was, when I said Flo, everyone was convinced that she was named after Progressive Flo. Which made me sad because I was like, you guys are uncultured. You getting your toys, Bubba? You get those toys. You get those toys. Yeah. Her name was Flo. Sadly, her life ended. Probably about a year ago now. I think it was early in my pregnancy, actually.
No.
No?
Before we got pregnant.
Before we were pregnant?
Oh.
Even sadder. It's been a long time. And then I have pictures where I post with my best friend. Which was fun. Oh, this is the friend I no longer talk to because he's a shithead. Sure.
Do you want
Want to warm up my thingies? My leftovers?
your Olive Garden?
Yeah. I've forgotten everything. I'm still doing these little roll thingies, and I've forgotten. Oh, you want to see? Look at this. Check this out. Let me clip this back. So I'm doing my TBR scrolls. Look at how thick, how much has gotten in here from the last set.